freaking mosquitoes are out now. We're on.
Hey, happy hump day. It is Wednesday, which means it's time for Boob Tube. And of course, it's not Boob Tube if I don't have my wonderful co-hosts with me, Casey Carter and desirable Desiree Bottom. Hello, ladies.
Hey.
What's up, Drew Breeze beating Jason to the punch?
I know.
Heck yeah.
Usually
Welcome
Jason
intro
is our
hadn't even
first.
finished and Drew was in.
Right.
Hey,
I hadn't
John
even said.
Beach. Where you been, John Beach?
Oh my gosh.
You guys are doing amazing. How's it going?
We are good. How about you, Drew? How's it going for you? How's your Wednesday?
My partner just texted me. Oh my god, I can't with him right now. I just can't. Some of the things that he texts me are just like, I'm like, dude, I'm on Boob Tube. Not now.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, it's what keeps us after 10 years, because we just celebrated 10 years. It's what keeps us going because, yeah. So
keep that fire burning.
Understand.
Burning shit. It's a flame. Backdraft. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm glad you're taking. Oh, I signed up for Kick today.
Okay.
Nice. Get that 95-5 split. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm gonna need your help, getting my channel popping, but look, she's like, yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing more gaming stuff in the coming months. So yeah. Well, see, I want to talk about why real quick before we get started into our stuff. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but July 1st, some new laws are going to be passed, and apparently, people that watch adult content, porn, and things of that nature have to be age verified with an ID. Now, how many people do you know that watch are going to go through that process? So
right.
I see a massive decline. Now, I don't think it's going to last long because, I mean, in this industry, things are always, Fosta Sesta, it's going to kill the environment. But I do think it's going to impose some serious problems for a little while. And so I think
Plus,
it's
good not to have everything, like all your eggs in one basket, right? So to diversify is awesome.
Well, I was diversifying and like going live on Twitch, but because of my affiliation with the industry, a lot of, even though I wasn't talking about anything adult, even though I never mentioned who I was, the fact that people that were in my chat was problematic. And Twitch is very strict, so even though I still have my account, it's still there. It's one of those, it's like getting on Instagram Live where you're like,
yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah, you can always multi-stream too to Twitch, but they have certain regulations. So
yeah,
like you can't mention other platforms and stuff, or like do Instagram Live, TikTok. Like you could game on those platforms too, which is pretty dope. So it's something to look into.
Hello, John Beach and Senpei Electric.
Senpai.
Okay. senpai. Every time I see that name, I think of Electric Avenue. And then you take me higher. Oh, oh, we're gonna walk on to Senpai Electric Avenue. Gen X is activated.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, yes. Hi, hello everybody. If you're just now tuning in, we are the crazy chaotic trio. 4 years strong.
Do you
Holler
play
at it,
games
y'all.
on Twitch or another direction altogether? I multicast on all platforms, like everywhere. So I've tried like old platforms, new platforms, all kind of platforms. So yep.
Yeah.
But right now,
So
kick.com is like giving us the best rate. So you're getting a 95/5 split. So for like all your subscriptions right now, they pretty much get to you, right? So you're getting that 95 split, and then you give them $5 through Stripe. So that's their payment process. So if you're familiar with Stripe, then you're okay. You're good to go. And then you could, like I said, you could still simulcast or multi-stream to like other platforms as well. Like if you have a big following on Instagram, you could try gaming on there. You can always do TikTok as well. There's a whole bunch of other platforms too, like SharePlay, LiveSpace. They just closed their doors, and VStream closed their doors as well. So there's not that many. Like those two shut down, unfortunately. But there's other avenues that you can most definitely look into as well. So
Our resident
pretty dope.
gaming expert. Thank you very much, Desiree.
yes.
Pretty
If
dope.
you have any questions about gaming, streaming, multi-streaming, simulcasting, Desiree Desirable Bottom is your lovely
My YouTube.
Yes. Okay.
Shameless plug.
No shame. None whatsoever. No, girl, listen, we let you have it. That's your space. And we love it. We love it. Because you being in that space helps us diversify as a program. So thank you.
Absolutely. Especially when you do stuff in Vietnamese. It just really helps to Casey. Sorry.
It's okay. It stayed in. It stayed in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello,
She almost
Jade.
got you.
Jade asks, what games do you play? Oh, she's answering in the chat. So, oh, wow. Okay, so we did a poll.
Are we ready for
on
that? Okay.
good old Twitter or X, however you like to call it.
I hope you guys voted.
Right. And the poll was, which is your most anticipated summer sequel movie release? Number 1, Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah.
Come for you.
Number 2 is Beetlejuice. Number 3 is Deadpool and Wolverine. And number 4 is Venom 3, which is part of like the Spider-Man, the Dark Spider-Man series. Leave your answers to the one that you think got the most votes. No going to Twitter to find out. Do not cheat. Or just put the one that you think is the one you're most anticipating down in the comments. We will announce. Should we do it now, Casey?
Well, yeah, we might. That's up to you. That's up to you if you want to, because you know we got some folks chiming in. We've got Deadpool and Wolverine, and we've got a Beetlejuice vote. So we can talk and periodically go back to it, and
absolutely.
We just got a Bad Boys. Bad Boys should have stopped. Oh, well, okay, we didn't just get a Bad Boys, but
don't talk about Beetlejuice that way. I am very looking forward to Beetlejuice. That is my pick. In fact, I'm trying to put together my Beetlejuice outfit.
Oh, geez, Veronica.
Yeah, he said Bad Boy should stop where it ended with Beetlejuice, just ruining good movies, shaking my head. I have to disagree. I personally want to cosplay as Beetlejuice and Lydia and go to see it. So I have to pick which one, but that's the one I'm most looking forward to. Bad Boys, I want to see it, but at the same time, I'm kind of yeah.
Well, we'll
If
we'll
I
come
don't,
back. I think we should
yeah,
come
we'll
back.
come
I
back
think
to
we
that.
should
We'll
give
come back to
folks a
that.
chance to put their votes in. So Desiree, if you could throw that question into our chat, and we'll circle back.
Sure.
But for those of you who answered in advance, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We're
Yeah,
gonna. This is something new we wanted to try to get some advance participation that we can share with you all during the show. So thank you.
I do want to give a shout out. So yesterday, I went live on the iHeart BBW channels for the first time in 7 months. And we did a productivity hour, which turned into 4 hours, by the way. We ended up going live for 4 hours. So it was more like a marathon.
Fest? Yeah, fest.
Anita Valentina from Loyal Fans joined me. And then it was so awesome that Miss Lola Lux, who is also in the chat tonight. Hello, Miss Lola Lux. She came in and started vibing with us. And then this Jade in the chat, who also goes by Miss Kaylee, also joined us, and we had a really good time. It was very, very nice to get back to like the wonderful things from the beginning of iHeart BBW. So yeah, I wanted to give them a shout out. Thank you guys so much for coming into the live tonight.
Hold on,
We are going to do it again.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Let's get the applause.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Right.
Woo!
I told them to come and watch us tonight so that they could get their shout outs. Also, at 10 p.m. tonight, I will be live with Kaylee on the lounge room, which is on OF. If you go to my link tree, queenofbbw.com at the top, you can click on that. At 10 o'clock is when we go live. So yeah, it was real. It was really a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I'll start off with catching up on Ghost Book 2. I watched it all the way up until the last finale episode because, you know, Ghost's final episodes are coming. The first one in June, the second one in September. Ghost Book 2. I'm trying to look for the actual
June
dates.
is going to be kind of popping because the second half
Heck
of
yeah.
Bridgerton also comes out.
And
Are
the
they
dragons,
finishing it?
right?
Oh
And
yeah.
House of Dragons starts. Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. June is going to be popping.
Wait, it's saying first episode date September 6th. Oh, that's 2020. Never mind. June 7th, 2024 is when the first part comes out, and then the second part comes out September 6th, 2024. So, anyways, I just finished that last episode when Brayden to his uncle.
Douche. He was a douche.
And then douche. And then came and saved the day for poor Tariq, who was about to get.
Wait, can I just say, I love the fact that the two of them are actually friends. Like, not just TV friends, but like actually friends.
And actually best friends. Like, they have a podcast together. They do a lot of things together.
I love that.
Which I think that's kind of the dynamic of that what makes their on-screen, like, on and off again, because they've fought a lot on the show. Like, going back and watching it again, I
Yeah.
realized how much like they go back and forth because Brayden is a typical rich boy who lives for the excitement and then comes back and apologizes later. So,
But you know,
yeah,
it's interesting because if you think about it, Tariq and Braden's relationship mimics Ghost and um, what's his face? Except
Tommy,
rather than Tommy, right? Except rather than being hood rats with no money, they're hood rats with money.
right.
But their relationships are very similar. I mean, childhood friends running them streets.
Hmm.
And Ghost and Tommy used to fight all the time. But when, when things got rough, they were always there for each other.
Yes. And even when Tommy found Tasha and we thought, that's it,
She's done.
Tasha's a dunner, a goner. They end up squashing their beef and working out their differences and being like, we're still family.
Right. And that's the thing. That was Tommy's thing, is we're still family. You're a dick, but we're still family. So
Right. Yeah.
and it's
So,
crazy because Tommy and his mother, their relationship is so sketch. So it's like he loves her because she's his mother, but he hates her because she's a dick.
his mother.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, and I know we just totally shifted over there, but as you were talking about Tariq and Braden's relationship, it just made me think about the similarities or the parallel between Tommy and Ghost. And I hate that the show was going off because it's really well done. Like the Ghosts series, the Power series as a collective, very well done. Very well done. So I'm totally looking forward to that first half. That should be very exciting. And then something Desiree mentioned, House of Dragons will be
Heck
back.
yeah.
And House of Dragons is back on my birthday, June 16th. And here's what's funny. I'll be in Las Vegas and Lorenzo was like, I gotta call the hotel and find out if they got HBO. Like, yes, babe, you do that. Like literally, we were gonna make our plans
Nice.
around whether or not they had HBO. And we needed to be back to the hotel to watch this. But yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. Me too. It looks really juicy.
Well, when you think about
Agreed.
the number of years, and I watched the first season thinking this must, we're coming up on season 3, right? Like that's what my mindset. Because in watching that first season, we experienced multiple decades. Like people have babies who become teenagers and all of this stuff all in one season. The main characters go from being teenagers to having teenagers to having
Having teenagers like
right,
Fact. Yeah.
right, so it's a lot that happened in that first season. So I'm really really excited to see what comes up in this next season.
for sure. Anybody else in the comments, are you excited about the House of Dragons? Do you watch the Game of Thrones House of Dragons series? We do.
We do. Can you tell?
Yeah, we do.
Heck yeah.
Can you?
Can you tell?
You're lucky if you're just chiming in now. Like we just got over. What did we just get over? BMF.
BMF. Yeah. And wait, and here's what's crazy. Y'all will probably be sick of us in June and July because it's gonna, with all these shows coming out in June, it's gonna take us 2 months to talk about all of them because
Right.
it's a
Heck yeah.
lot. That is a lot. That is a lot. But if I may go next,
Sure.
I want to.
Have at it.
So this weekend, holiday weekend, I lounged around a lot. I watched a lot of ridiculous stuff, but I also every now and then have these moments where I like to watch documentaries. I watched a bunch
Ooh,
of documentaries this weekend.
wait on us.
And the first that I want to talk about, and I please, YouTube gods, don't ban me or us. But I was scrolling through, and I thought I was scrolling through Max. I don't even know what I was scrolling through now. And I came across something called Sex Bots. And it was done, I want to say it first aired maybe back in 2017. And the whole program was about the sex doll evolution to sex bot utilizing AI, and it was
Oh, okay.
quite
I
fascinating.
remember that.
Yeah, it was quite fascinating because the first doll's name is Harmony, and they start off by talking to this older gentleman who had 3 sex dolls. And he got his first doll when his wife went to go help her ill mother, and she was gone for a very long time, and he got this doll, and he ultimately acquired 3 dolls in total. You would see him, having dinner with the dolls, watching TV with the dolls, putting the dolls in the bed, combing their hair, picking their outfit. And he talked about how for him, the dolls were more about that relationship than about the sex. That the doll really provided him companionship in the absence of his wife. And then his wife comes home to discover him in these dolls, and they apparently have been married since the time of the flood. And so she was a little weirded out, but she wasn't leaving because she's like, eventually she realized that the doll didn't necessarily replace her, and it actually for
Right.
her somewhat enhanced the relationship. And she just sort of got used to it. So like they showed a scene where him and the wife and the dolls are all watching TV, and he, wants to hand the remote to the doll in case the doll wants to change the channel, which I'm sitting there going, okay. But running parallel to that story is the story of this doll manufacturer and how they decided they wanted to incorporate AI into a doll. And they spent all this time, trying to create the technology in terms of just the AI response, cameras so that the doll can see who they're interacting with and then learn how to save information so that they can interact with that person. And they got to a point where they were like, okay, we think we're ready. We're going to test this doll out. And they decided to use this guy who had the 3 dolls, and they basically bring her out. Harmony is her name again. They bring Harmony out for her first date with this guy, and I can't remember his name, so we'll call him Bob. And
Bob sounds like a Harmony kind of guy.
right. So they propped Harmony up on the sofa, and they had her in this room, in this house. They had a house, and they put her on the sofa in this room, and they chat with Bob a little bit, and they gives Bob some basic instructions on how to interact with her, and then they let Bob go in the room, and he and Harmony sit on the sofa, and they literally chatted, like, and you could see it was slow at first, but then all of a sudden her comments started happening a little more natural. The speed was a little more normal. And it's funny because as I was watching it, I'm saying to myself, this is where the doll is learning and figuring out how to interact with Bob. So by the time this date is over, Bob is enamored with Harmony. I mean, Harmony's telling jokes. She's being very yes, the bitch tells jokes. She's being very complimentary. And it was really, really fascinating to watch the exchange between them. Like, There was one moment where she kind of sputtered, and they were, the doll creators were like, "Arr!" But she ultimately nailed that first date in terms of her level of interaction, the things that she said, and his experience of the doll. The show also talked about the I'm not gonna say the legal ramifications, but it talked about people's angst or their concerns about having sex dolls and what it will do to human male female relationships if a man can just manipulate this doll to do and say whatever he wants. And it's even on a political level where there's like secret talks of how to stop this from happening. So like I did a really quick search of sex robots, and you'll find there's a lot of talk about trying to ban these things from happening, these dolls from happening with the AI. To me, the irony, the doll, now this was a program that was on in 2017, so 7 years later. You can imagine how much better this doll is probably functioning. But what's really, really crazy for me is 1 minute we didn't have AI. Now we all of a sudden, all regular people have access to AI, through things like GPT chat and all of that. But there are a lot of things that already exist from a mechanical standpoint that are being run with AI. And
Sure.
I think it's going to be hard to prevent people from being able to buy these robots. Because the doll manufacturer is like, look, somebody's going to make it, somebody's going to buy it. It just is what it is. They're not going to be able to regulate that. But I was really very, very fascinated by the people that they showed in the show, how a lot of them used it for companionship, not just sex. They genuinely were using it for companionship, and that was very interesting to me.
So to
Well,
piggyback off of your topic, Casey, too.
mhm.
So I seen somebody's YouTube video, and they posted like VR like that too. So
Mhm.
not just in person, but I guess they're doing it on VR too, where
Yep.
there's like these
Yep.
dolls and you could interact with them and stuff as well. And
Yep.
I was mind blown, to be honest, too, because I was like, there's no flipping way. Like, I don't know. And then she was just like, tell me what to do. Like, da da da.
Mhm.
And like, very witty, doing jokes as well, too, and this and that. And I was just like, not just like dominant or not
Right.
dominant, submissive, sorry.
Right.
To
Just
the person. Yeah.
genuinely interactive.
Exactly. So I mean, some people, they might like that. Like they might be into that stuff. So it's out there. The technology's out there.
And I think I'm really, really big on intimacy. And I think what in my opinion, what I saw with this older gentleman and these dolls was really him wanting someone to talk to and share his day with. And it's ironic that even though he has 3 dolls, he's like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford an AI doll, because at that time they were saying it was gonna be like $7,000 or $8,000 or something like that. But he was like, I don't know that I'd be ever be able to afford one. But he loved the interaction. And there was another gentleman in Europe who is, as they said, they're in a monogamous heterosexual relationship, but he has a doll. And every summer when he goes on holiday, and I forget where he goes on holiday, but every summer when he goes on holiday with his doll, he takes her out and about town, and he puts her in real world positions and takes photographs of her. So like he'll take her to the grocery store and have her holding things and pushing the cart, and he just takes pictures of it. And I just was like, okay. The gentleman with the 3 dolls, he took one of the dolls to the wig store to get her some new hair or to get her hair fluffed up or whatever. And the guy who owns the wig store or worked in the wig store, he was like, I don't ask no questions. He wants to get her hair done. I just help her get her hair done. You know, I don't, whatever that's his
No
business.
judgment.
That's his business, you know. And apparently the guy, Bob, as I call him, he goes regularly to this wig store. And I'm just like, okay. And he pushes her around in a wheelchair. And yeah. And
I
so
was just gonna ask, like, how does this doll
he
get
pushes
around?
her
But
around in a wheelchair. And so when you see him go to the wig store, he says to the guy, he's like, "Hi, this is Sally. You remember Sally, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember Sally." And I'm like, "Oh, I appreciate you playing along. You know how to handle business, because if dude is coming on a regular, you getting paid. I appreciate that."
right.
But I was very, very fascinated. Very, very fascinated. Now, so after watching that
Tell us the
program, I'm
secret.
like, I'm just curious. I went to, you know, one of those unnamed sites that soon is going to ask you for your ID. And I put in sex dolls to see what would you get. Ooh, baby. Whole lots of videos. Lots of videos with dolls. Lots. So again, I don't think you're going to be able to stop them dolls.
I own two. I mean, I don't have like the full version. I have the little I have a torso, which is from the neck to the knees.
Right.
And then I have a smaller one, which is from the neck, and it's actually smaller. Like it's like,
right.
That's like this
no.
big. The other one is like real size.
That's what was so fascinating too, is okay. I like to do my research. So I Googled to look at the various dolls, right? And a life-size doll, life-size not necessarily meaning it and me are the same size, but like a full head to toe
adult version
doll, is gonna run you minimally $1,000 on the low end, so to speak, kind of on an average. But the little torsos that Kari talked about, that's what was like perplexing to me too, because I'm reading the dimensions. I'm going, that something about that I can't quite. And so when I went to the videos and saw the dolls when those dimensions I couldn't wrap my mind around, I'm like, oh shit, that's a lot smaller than I thought. Like, because, you know, a lot of these girls are very petite. And so to see them with this little doll, I'm like, oh.
They even have plus size versions.
Oh, no, they do. But again, I was just doing research. Sure. And I didn't see any of the plus versions in my research. But not on the video research, but in the shopping research. Oh, yes, I saw some real thick chicks.
Yeah.
Well, you can get them customized. You can literally reach out to the company and get
what you need. Yes, but I'm just saying, if I wanted to buy off the shelf, I can get me a thick chick off the shelf. And she real nice and juicy.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. So this falls in line with the conversation that we've been having about, I don't know if you guys have seen on Instagram and TikTok where they're like, why women choose the bear instead of the man. And this is kind of falling in line with like when people ask me why I don't shoot with partners anymore. This is one of the reasons. When I shoot with my, you know, doll friend, he don't give me no back talk. He's always at attention. He's clean, disease free, doesn't need to take any breaks
or tests,
any pops or tests, and he's always on time. Doesn't require flights.
And your O is all he cares about.
And he doesn't require paperwork. And he can never come back and tell me that I can't use the footage. And he won't post it on that site that you shall not name for free.
I love it.
Great. Now, I have a question. Have you ever shot anything and then they thought it was a real person, so they were like, verify that thing?
Actually, OF. Okay, so
did you say verify that? What did you say? Verify that dick?
Yes.
No, I said verify that thing.
Oh.
Okay. So,
Lord, get your mind out the gutter, Casey.
Right. There was a time for those of you that are on the OF, where they started the paperwork process where you had to tag creators, provide the model release forms and the IDs. And they came out with the new terms of service that said you can't use these penetrators, as we'll call them, that don't look human. They got to look like they're real human peas. So you can't use like the bad dragon ones that look like,
Okay, thank
you
you
know,
for
like
clarifying.
tentacles and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, Doc Johnson has some squirting peas that look
Yes.
very realistic. I, in
Yep.
fact, own all three.
Okay.
I own the Caucasian, the brown one, and the dark one. Love them all.
Okay.
They even have names.
Oh, yes.
So I shoot these videos because, you know, as of 2015, I went full, you know, artificial pee. And so I've got these scenes where I'm shooting with these things, but I have them angled so that you can't tell if it's on a person or in the case, one of the cases where I had to prove, you know, the identity of and like provide the paperwork, it was suction cup to the wall.
Right.
So my bathroom walls are all tile. So
Nice.
it's great for
Right.
this type of work because you can just
Yeah.
and go to town.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They stick best to the tile. Yes.
So OF flags it and says, oh, you got to provide model release form, photo ID, and tag the creator for this video. So I send them a cover of the box. This, my friends, is Doc Johnson. Right. And they took the video down and wouldn't let me use the video because, and they actually took several videos down because it looked so real. And the way that I angled it, the way that we shot it, the way that I filmed with it, it looked so real that they were like, no, I'm sorry. That's a person. And then, so then I tried to tag somebody and was like, well, I know that you weren't in this video with me, but I just need you to, you know, and they still wouldn't let me use it. They were like, no, ma'am.
And let me say this to piggyback off of what Kari's saying in terms of if you shoot at the right angle. So again, I was doing research and came across 2 or 3 videos that were labeled as DP. And this is me going,
what in the world?
Like I'm trying to tilt my head so I could see around the part of the camera that I can't really see, because I'm saying to myself, that's not actually 2 real thingies. That's one real thing. But the way they shot it, you couldn't see. You saw shaft, but you didn't see all the
person
way, right? And because it was an up close shot of the DP, and I'm saying to myself, oh no, I know that's just the 2 of them, and then a you know, non-animated extra. But still, to Kari's point, if you shoot that joint right, ain't nobody gonna really know, because the non-animated extra looked a lot like the human in terms of its design. And I was
it could have been a replica.
I was trying to look around the corner of the camera.
Really? Is that what you were doing?
Girl, I am not lying. Like, no exaggeration, no bullshit. I really was tilting my head. Like, if I tilt my head, I can see what they're not showing me. Because I was utterly fascinated. Absolutely fascinated. So, anyway.
Oh my God.
I didn't mean to take us down that rabbit hole, but ooh.
Rabbit hole? You took us down the pee hole.
The whole
Kari,
hole.
what you got, girl? What you got?
Yeah, Desiree.
Do you want me to go?
Sorry,
Okay.
Desiree. Sorry. My bad, Desiree. My bad.
It's okay.
I'm
So I
caught
watched
up in these
Tarot.
dials. But anyway,
I don't know if you guys seen it. It's called Tarot. It's
tarot,
like a
like
whole
tarot
bunch of
cards.
yeah,
Okay.
like tarot cards. Okay, so a whole bunch of group friends or whatever. They go to like this cabin, um, and I don't know, for some reason they stumble on this deck of tarot cards, and then the one chick knows about it, but she doesn't really like, she's not like one of those people who are like, oh, like, like I'm opening and willing to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and like there's certain things, certain rules, this and that. Like, if you guys aren't familiar with tarot, I guess some people
First of
aren't, some
all,
people are.
you're never supposed to touch someone else's tarot cards without their permission.
That's what she said in the movie. So I would like, that was a rule. Like, I kind of knew, but I didn't really like actually know. Like, I didn't know that was like a definitive
It
rule,
is.
right? So, right. So that's what she was saying. And then apparently this deck of tarot cards was cursed. It's like a horror movie. It goes down that avenue. The Electric Avenue.
Electric Avenue. And then you take me
Take me
higher.
higher.
I wanna walk onto
So,
Senpai Electric Avenue.
Even though you're talking about tarot cards, in my mind, I'm also thinking Ouija board. Because there's so many
Same
movies.
thing.
There's so many movies with this sort of similar premise behind, with that type of thing. And I think what's a little spooky about it for me is this isn't some concept created for TV or movies. This is something that people actually really, really do in terms of reading tarot cards and in terms of using Ouija boards.
Spirituality. Yeah.
And so there's a part of me that's kind of like, I don't want to fuck with that.
No, yeah, I wouldn't either. Like, I have a few people that I know that like do readings too, and I will get them to like do it occasionally, like if like whenever they're online or whatever. And I don't know, I think the process is interesting, and I really do genuinely think it is like like some things are accurate about it, like in my opinion.
Okay.
But the movie was totally entertaining. It gave me like kind of like Scream vibes too. So if you guys are like a fan of Scream, or I'm trying to think like another movie that it would kind of relate to, because it's like, they go to like the cabin. There's people obviously that die, stuff like that. So if you guys like movies like that, it was entertaining. I'll say, like, it was pretty entertaining. So it's called Tarot. You guys can find it online, or I think in theaters. It's probably online now. So if you guys want to check it out, that's where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Kari, do you want to go back to our poll question and response?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So just
we are getting close to the end of the show, so
just to remind you all again. Go ahead, Kari.
If you go to if you go to Platinum PUZZY and the number 1, that is where the poll has taken place. It's also on, I think, Desiree and have retweeted it. So coming in at number 4 is Venom 3, literally. Not one vote. Not one person said they wanted to see Venom 3. Oh, hello, Alex. Alex is in the chat. Welcome, welcome.
I always love
Coming
Alex's
in
introductions, even though like we are so well deep into the show. They're always nice to see. Okay, sorry.
We love
ahead.
you, Alex. We do. Coming in at number 3, Bad Boys with 1 vote. One person wants to see Bad Boys. Bad Boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it comes for you? Coming in at number 2, Beetlejuice, which I'm super super shocked. I thought Beetlejuice would slide in at number 1, but it's at number 2
Which
with
means
also 1 vote. Coming in at number 1 is Deadpool and Wolverine with a shocking 8 votes.
Ryan
80
Reynolds for the
80%.
win. Whoop whoop.
So yeah,
I gotta be honest, I am one of those 8 votes.
I want to see it too. I want to
am one of
see
those 8
how
votes.
Ryan
And
Reynolds was able to convince Jack Human to come back as Wolverine because he said he would never do it again.
and let's talk
True.
about the fact that dude is a Broadway performer, right? Like, I mean, it's Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, but he's also like,
Did I say Jack Human?
yeah, that's okay.
The
You
heck?
good, girl. You good. But he's also like, a Broadway performer. Like, dude sings and dances on Broadway.
He's moved on to an entirely new career.
And now he's gonna play opposite that goofball. Like, that is the reason I wanted to see it. Just because.
True.
And here's what's funny. So, like, I was talking to Lorenzo about this, and I said to him, hey, go do the poll, vote, whatever. And I said to him, so what did you pick? He said Bad Boys. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. He was sorry. I'm so sorry.
And
Lorenzo, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to. I did not know you were
but
the
that's
one
on me because I just put it out there. But here's what's funny. He said, I hadn't something about he didn't want to see it. It was just going to be silly. I don't like Deadpool, blah, blah, blah. I says, well, when does it come out? Because he was busy looking. And he gave me the date of when it comes out. And I was like, ooh, aren't we together that weekend? He goes, yeah. He said, oh, wait, hold on. What are you saying? What are you saying? I was like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I think we're together that weekend. So I probably will convince him to take me to see that.
Woo, talk about eating a toe jam. I did not know that he was the 1%. The 10%.
Again, that's on me. That I will take full responsibility for outing him on that one.
It's all good.
But
if he wants to see it, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah.
the Bad Boys series is not a bad one.
No.
Will Smith and Martin Lawrence together is entertaining. Although the last one with this whole Will's got a son thing, and now apparently this 4th one is them busting him out of jail, and
that's where you've gone too far. But wait, isn't
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop also coming out this summer?
Oh, that's the other one that I was
Yep.
trying to think of, the other like high action movie. So yeah, Beverly Hills Cop is coming out. That looks hilarious.
Now, that would have gotten my vote.
Well, we can always do another one. There are plenty of movies coming out this summer.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you guys have any poll ideas or anything you guys want us to post as well.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Or don't forget, we love to do shout outs. So if you want to wish somebody a happy birthday, happy anniversary, congratulations on their engagement, divorce, get whatever it is, graduation,
Any kind of party. Yeah, any parties.
Anything.
Yeah, we
We're
love
down.
shout out.
You don't understand. We love y'all. Sometimes we're quiet because one of us may be reading the comments.
That part.
Yeah, we might be reading comments. So, anywho.
So, update. Two updates. Under the Bridge, which is the show that I told you guys about previously, which is about the story in Canada where the teenagers bullied the Indian girl, and then eventually, like, one of the girls, the mastermind behind it all, ended up unaliving her. And she comes from money, and she's like psycho. Anyways, their trials just started, so it's going to be interesting to see if she's able, like, I know she ends up going to prison because I Googled it. So, and this is based on a true story or true events, and it happened years ago. So she's still in jail and still in prison. But the one that I really, really want to talk about is Mary and George, which is the 1600s kind of Renaissance type show with Julianne Moore, who plays an excellent part in this show. She's Mary, and George is her son, who she's groomed to help get her into the king's castle and get her in,
She's pimping him out.
Yeah, she pimped him out. Anyways, that's exactly what happened. And you're going to have to watch the episode. I don't want to do the spoiler, but let's just say that things have taken a crazy turn of events. This last episode is insane.
Okay.
And arrogance definitely gets the best of poor George.
Oh.
And it's deep. So it's going to be interesting to see how this last turn of events changes the dynamic of the show, because some key characters are changing or have changed, we'll say that. So
I started to watch it and then I got distracted and started watching something else, but I am definitely going to circle back because I don't know, I genuinely, and maybe it's just the freak in me, Casey all night long. Hey. I get a kick out of the decadence of the era and the sexual freedom that you see on that aristocrat level, where folks are like, I'm fucking whoever I want to fuck, and I'm doing it wherever I want to do it, whenever I want to do it, secret, not a secret, whatever. Like, I'm genuinely fascinated by all of that. As I've said in other places, many places, sex is as old as humans are. So
yeah.
And the kink, the freakiness, it's also just as old. And we've been having this conservative freak battle for millennia. Like, it didn't just start with liberals and conservatives and Republicans and Democrats. We've been having this conversation for millennia. In case y'all don't know, that's 1,000 years, right? So we've been having this for multiple millennia. And as you can see, because we've been fighting it for so long, or having this battle for so long, it's not going away. There's always a workaround.
It's why corn continues to grow.
Right. It is a work. There is workarounds on all of this, and I'm just like, go for it, because all you do is make people become more creative, or you make people go into deep, dark places, because they're going to go find what it is that they want.
Yeah.
They're going to go find it. And somebody's going to provide it, because they know supply and demand is a real thing, y'all. Supply and demand is for everything. Everything. And
supply and demand is for the birds.
Well, here's the thing. It's not like illegal substances where you have to go and find the source.
You're right.
In this particular instance,
it's there.
The source is homegrown. So it's not that hard to find.
It's not that hard to find. And
or to provide.
Right. It's not hard to provide, to provide. And that's why this is an indefinite fight. I know they do these things that affect the industry, even to the point where people who don't provide pleasure services are affected if they talk in those spaces. And no matter what, at the end of the day, life finds a way. We always find a way to make it work. So
True.
Fact.
We're adaptable. Yeah,
we
exactly.
are very
Like you said it.
adaptable. Because,
Adaptable.
honey,
Very
like I said, it's been
adaptable.
around for millennia.
And it ain't going nowhere. So
Ain't going nowhere.
But with that said, we're
With that
nearing. Yeah, it's about that time, y'all.
It's
Heck
about
yeah.
that time.
It's
It's
about
Boob.
that time. You can catch the Exotica family at the official 2024 Miami, Florida show, June 28th to the 30th. In Edison, New Jersey, October 25th to the 27th. And in Washington, D.C., my backyard, December 6th through the 8th. Ladies Free Friday. So ladies, sign up for your free tickets on Exxxotica. That's EXXXOTICA Expo.com. And others, you can get your tickets. You can also get your VIP tickets. And if you're looking to be an exhibitor, you can get information there as well.
And you
But
can get
that's
your
not all.
dungeon all access tickets too. Let's not forget about them.
Oh yeah, on dungeon, the seminars, the
Yeah.
stage shows. There's so much great stuff.
Special
But
guests.
that's not all. September 13th to the 15th, 2024, you can see the 420 Expo, 420expo.com for your tickets and exhibition information. And follow the 420 Expos on Twitter, Instagram, and the Facebook.
I'm
Casey, are
sorry.
you
I literally just started reading Alex's comment.
Alex says Casey All Night Long Carter will have a film better than Bad Boy films. Bad boobs, bad boobs, oh my gosh. What you gonna do? What you
When
gonna
we
do
motorboat
when we
you?
motorboat
Kari
you?
is
Kari
the
is the
director.
That's hilarious, Alex.
See what I'm saying? We see these comments, y'all. We be reading them.
Maybe a little bit late, but we get to them eventually.
But we get them. We get them.
We get them.
Because I'm listening to Kari talk, and I'm like, what the hell does that say?
What the hell does that say?
Love
well, you can catch me on
Pink Box Time.
Pink Box Time, yeah. At Platinum PUZZY and the number 1 on Twitter X, queenofbbw.com for all my links. And I'll be live on the lounge room here in about
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Yeah. So you can come and see me on the O to the F to the OF, you know, the little blue thing. Yeah. What are the fish lips?
I don't know.
Casey's got Dory going on over there.
Checking my lip gloss. Bye, John. Thanks for
Bye,
showing
John.
So,
first of all, we would like to say
chat.
Yes. We thank you for being in the chat with us. We want to say thank you for watching. If you're watching this for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, do all those things, and follow us on social media. If you're watching us again because you're coming back for more, we really, really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same bat channel, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on EXXXOTICA.tv or YouTube.exotica. Until next week.
Wait, hold on, Kari. Jason, I know you watched the replay. You better come with an absent note because you wasn't here. I'm gonna need a note.
Yes, he was.
Jason?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Scroll up.
I'm
scroll up. Scroll up. If you scroll up,
I
Jason
retract my statement. Thank you.
Hey, lovely lady. He was in my live yesterday. Christopher Gagliardi.
I was on Monday, and I saw him there too. So I
will say somebody who was absent who needs to come with a note. Zany.
Okay. Zany, you need a note.
Zany.
Better
you
be
need
good.
a note. And
okay,
Axel Foley, I don't know where you've gone.
You, Kari, like that.
Yep.
It's all good. If we got to
saying.
call somebody absent, you know what I'm saying? We got to call them out. Call them out. Anyways, we will see you guys next week. Back to you, Casey.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Toodles.
Toodles.